Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops, a great millstone that rule well, teach well, while learning truth, 100% according to the Bible. Also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophet, service, scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you few sisters out there that are sincere in your children. Shalom. And then today's video is going to be building off of this video that I got here off of TikTok. And we're just going to ultimately get straight into the video. We're going to listen to what it is the guy is saying. And I'm going to grab a few precepts and Lord's willing to be edifying. But with that being said, fair use. I'm not getting paid for this video. This is for educational purposes only.
Hey guys, we got another major story developing. November 1st, they're going to cut off SNAP benefits. This is going to have major effect on all of us guys, not just the people who are losing their benefits. Because you need to think, all these people who are losing the ability to buy food when the economy is already in the gutter and things are already at just ridiculous pricing. How do you think that they're going to survive? What's next? Theft? They're going to have to start stealing food, which means prices are going to raise, which means they will lock things up, which means we might be in martial law a lot sooner than we thought. Because when they...
Right. And you hear what it is the guy is saying, and he's absolutely right. Those are all of the things that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is ultimately about to bring upon this place, Babylon, the Great America, man. All of these different, chaotic events are about to begin to take place in this country, man, because ultimately it's all part of prophecy, and these things will happen. And I'm actually go to 2nd Esdras chapter 15, and I'm going to start at verse 5, right? And I'm going to just read on down in the spirit. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, I will bring plagues upon the world," right? The sword, famine, death, and destruction. These are all of the things the Lord is bringing upon the earth, and that are soon about to be taking place here soon in this place, America, on a higher scale, man, than what we ultimately see now. Things are only going to get worse in this country, right? Verse 6, and this is the reason why. It says, "For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and our hurtful works are fulfilled." So that's why Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is ultimately about to bring these evil times here to this country, man. You see why these Babylonian people are about to soon be dwelling in torments and miseries, while all of these, plagues are about to fall upon this place, man, because the Lord is judging this place, man. You see, for the wickedness that ultimately occurs in this place, man, because we know that this place, Babylon the Great, is the headquarter of wickedness, man. You see? So I'm going to go on down. I'm going to go to verse 12. It said, "Egypt shall mourn," right? And we know this place, America, is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. It says, "And the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai shall bring upon it." And that's ultimately going into the people, man. The people are going to be the ones mourning with all of the things that the Lord is getting ready to bring upon this place, man. And ultimately, we haven't seen anything yet, man, because everything that is only happening now is only the beginning, man. Right? What does it say in 2nd Esdras 14? I got to grab that, because this is ultimately what's getting ready to come upon the world, and especially this country, man. 2nd Esdras 14-16, it says, "For yet greater evils, right, than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter," right? Verse 17. And it says, "For look how much the world shall be weakened through age, so much the more shall evils," right, bad times, "increase upon them that dwell therein," which are talking about the people, man. And we're in that time where Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is about to allow these evils to increase upon these people, man, right? Because like I said, we're in a time of judgment, man, you see. But this is back at 2nd Esdras chapter 15. And I'm going to start at verse 14, right? It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein," because that word woe ultimately goes into destruction. And that's exactly what the Lord is getting ready to bring upon planet Earth. You see, destruction. You see, chaos, division, confusion. You see all of these different types of things. This is what's about to be taking place soon here in this place, America, man. We already see it on a beginning scale. You see with all of these protests and things like that. But the plagues are only going to intensify, man. Right? What does it say in 2nd Esdras 16? Let me grab that real quick through the spirit. And I'm going to go down to verse 37, right? And it says, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack," you see. And when something is not, I mean, it's fastly approaching, it's close. And these evils, these bad times that we're warning you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians about, these things are close, man, right? Verse 38, it says, "As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth a son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment," right? Verse 39, "Even so shall not the plagues," right, meaning the evils, right, be slack to come upon the earth, and the world, right, shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. And that's ultimately what time and season we are in, man. That's why you're only going to continue to see things intensify worldwide. You see, as far as these evils that the Lord is bringing, man, it's only going to get worse. You see. So I'm gonna get back into the video so we can ultimately listen to what it is, that the guy's still saying. But hey, these are the times that are upon us, man. All of these things are about to come down the pipeline. You see, these bad times, man. Right. And ultimately, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is the one that's bringing it. Right. For the wickedness that's ultimately occurring in this earth, man, especially among his own people, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you 2/3. Right. The Lord is about to bring a lot of, horrible judgments upon you people, man. You see, a lot of evils.
Have to start controlling the food centers, the Walmarts, martial law. That's when breadlines and everything will start. Okay. When the food centers are no longer secure, that's when your lockdowns will really begin. And when you take the SNAP benefits away from all these people who already have nowhere else to turn, what do you think is going to be the result of this?
Right.
These people.
And you hear what it is he's saying. And ultimately, we know that Esau is doing this on purpose, man, because, Ordo ab Chao, he needs the chaos to start. So ultimately, he can bring in a solution, man. And that's going to be locking this place, America, down, and ultimately him trying to forward his new world order and establish his enterprise. But ultimately, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you see, he's allowing these things to happen because it's all going according to prophecy. So these things must take place. But yeah, these things are getting ready to come to America, man. You're going to have people fighting each other over food. You see, that's ultimately going to be what causes these uproars of the people. That's going to cause the looting and all of the different things that are soon going to be taking place in this country. Oh, yeah, all of these things are getting ready to happen, man. It's only a matter of time, right? We're seeing the stage be set for these events to come to pass, man. Right. But I'm going to actually read it again where I left off at the second Esdras 15. I'm going to read verse 14 again. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Right. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. Right. That's going into people being out there in the middle of the streets here in this place, America, fighting against each other with those swords, which are the modern day guns that a lot of these Americans possess. And we know, as they say in the world, hard times calls for desperate measures, you see. And that's what a lot of these people are going to do. They're going to take matters into their own hands when they feel as though the government is not helping them and they're not being able to get by and things get tough. You see, people just going to start reacting, man. You see, and ultimately that's what Esau wants these people to do. Right. And a lot of these people, they're going to fall for it. They're going to do it. Right. Because like I said, these things are prophecy and it has to come to pass. So it will happen. Right. But I'm going to read verse 16. It says, for there should be sedition among men. Right. That's going into people uprising against the government, because ultimately these people in America, they're going to blame the government ultimately for how everything in this country is ruined. You see, for the food stamps getting taken away, for ultimately things being harder and people suffering. They're going to blame the government for these things. So you're definitely going to have people fighting against the government in these times. These are all of the things that are soon about to take place, man. Right. It says, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. That's talking about, like these politicians, the police officers. I mean, it's going to be everybody for themselves in these times, man. It's going to be complete chaos, right? What does it say in Matthew 24:12? And because iniquity shall abound, sin upon sin, the love of many shall wax cold. People ain't going to be caring about anybody in these times, man, when there's not food and resources and people feeling hopeless and down on their luck. And, people got to feed their families. I mean, hey, the worst of these people are going to come out, man, in these times, man. Right. But it says, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right. Verse 17, it said, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because that's ultimately talking about in the midst of all of this chaos that you're going to have happening. You're going to have martial law set up, just like the guy said in the video, man. You see, that's part of prophecy. You're going to have these military soldiers in all of these states throughout Babylon, with security checkpoints and, things like that, because ultimately, like I said, it all goes back to the new world order that these devils are trying to set up. So like I said, they want this chaos to happen so they can be justified to bring in order. You see, out of all of the chaos that's happening, man. You see, but I'm going to read verse 17 again. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because guess what? You're not going to be able to move around freely due to all of the chaos that's going to be happening, as well as the military checkpoints in this place, America, being locked down and, things like that, And ultimately, it all goes back to the RFID microchip, because that's what everything is moving in the direction of. Because if you do want to ultimately, function and go from city to city in the coming future, you're going to need an implantable device, man. That's what this all goes back towards, the Charagma, you see, which they're going to ultimately implement in the time of all of this chaos that's going to be happening, you see. But I'm going to finish reading. This is verse 18. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, man. This is what's coming. Right? Verse 19, it said, a man, right, shall have no pity upon his neighbor. That's how bad it's going to get out here, man. Right? That your favorite neighbor, Bob, or whoever it is that you may know that's your neighbor, you probably could have been knowing this person for 10, 15 years. But in the time that's coming, when the resources begin to shorten up, when there's no food and things like that, your favorite neighbor ain't going to care about you, man. You see, they're going to only care about feeding their families and providing food for themselves, man. This is what's coming, man. Everybody is going to only be thinking about themselves, man. Right? And these people here in Babylon are already like that. You see, selfish, don't care about the next person. So how much more in the times that are to come, when there's nothing, man, when resources are slim, when you can rarely get anything, So, hey, like I said, the worst of these people are about to come out real soon. These people truly are about to show the monsters that they really are, man. You see, because these people in this country are already holding on by a thread, man. These people are already ready to crash out just due to everything else that's going on. You see? But it says a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses, right, with the sword, and spoil their goods, right? This is how bad it's going to get. You're going to have people ransacking people's houses, you see, just for canned goods, man. Things that people take for granted now, people are going to be killing in the coming weeks, days, and months behind these items, man, because that's how bad it's going to get, man. You see? Especially if you ain't got the Lord with you, man. If Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not with you in these times, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, it's going to be hell for you people, man. Because like I said, the Lord is the one that's sending these plagues, man. You see? It says, and because of the lack of bread, right, going into a lack of food, right, a famine, and for great tribulation, right? Because ultimately, like I said, when people start, uproaring and these civil unrest of these people and things like that begin to happen, the first thing people are going to do on their mind is to loot stores, man. That's exactly where they're going to go to first. You see, as it tells us right here, let me grab that. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, and I'm going to start at verse 22, right? It said, and suddenly shall the sown places, those sown places are talking about the stores, your Walmarts, your Krogers, you see your other places where people go to get food, right? It says, shall appear unsown, right? The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, right? Because ultimately all of this stuff is going to happen suddenly, man. You see, it's just going to pop off, man. And like I said, people are going to be looting stores. And that's going to be the first thing on these people's mind, man, is to get food, to get water, to get all of these things. So your stores are going to get empty real quickly in these times, man, when these things begin to hit, And it says, verse 23, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Verse 24, and at that time shall friends, right, fight one against another like enemies. This is how bad it's going to get out here, man. You see, when all things really hit the fan, Like I said, these people are not going to have any empathy for each other, man. People are going to be acting like animals in this time, man. You see? It says, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Like I said, food and things like that is going to be scarce in this place, America, man. You see? And that's why you're going to have so many people bugging out. But like I said, if you're not of the Lord's remnant, then hey, you're going to definitely be, through in these times that are coming, man, because Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he's going to provide a way for the elect, man, of the nation of Israel. You see, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and speckled birds that may look like the heathen, but their seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You see, that are going to ultimately, be in these times, going through these things. The Lord is going to make a way for them, you see, throughout all the chaos and through everything that's going to be taking place. But, for you other people, you 2/3 and you heathens, hey, you people are about to catch absolutely hell in this time, man. It's going to be bad for you people, man. Right? And like I said, all of these things in which it is Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to bring upon this place, America, these things are, sent as scourges for amendment, man. Right? These things are sent as punishments, man. Right? That's why all of these things are about to happen, man. Right? I'm going to go to 2nd Esdras 16 again, and I'm going to go to verse 17. Right? Because this is ultimately what's coming. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And this is ultimately the prophet Esdras seeing a vision of, things that are about to come to this place America soon come. He's seen how bad it was out here, man. You see, when all hell broke loose, when people really started looting and stealing and killing, you see, he's seen these things, man. And he was like, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Because it's almost going to look hopeless out here, man. That's how bad things going to get. But like I said, the Lord is going to come through for the elect, man. You see, that's why we pray Abaratazah, Lord's willing, we're at that number, because we know the Lord is going to come through for his remnant, you see. But this is verse 18. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine, right? Because that's coming. Like I said, a shortage of food and resources. It said in great death, because a lot of people in this time are about to be put to death, man. Because like I said, we're in the time of judgment, right? That's why all of these things are about to happen. It says the beginning of wars, right? Race wars, class wars, civil wars, gender wars, World War III. All of these things are about to happen, right? It says, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils, right? What shall I do when these evils shall come? And for the hopeful elect, we're going to put our trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Because like I said, in this time that we're in, the Lord is going to be our only defense, our only protection. You see, we're not going to be able to make it through these times on our own, you see. But I'm going to finish reading verse 19. It says, behold, famine and plague, right? Tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, right? And we're going to look at that word scourges, right? On the AI overview on Google just for edification. Because like I said, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is about to send all of these things upon these Babylonians, you see, as a form of judgment, right? And that word scourges goes into a whip used as an instrument of punishment, you see? And when you go down into the similar words, it goes into, basically that's what it means, you see, to punish, right? Afflict, right? That's exactly what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is about to do. He's about to bring afflictions, you see, sufferings, you see, turmoils upon these people, man, in these times, right? That's exactly what's coming, right? And like I said, we just pray and hope, Abaratazah, that we're the Lord's remnant, that in these times the Lord has mercy upon us, you see, because like I said, we're going to be in the midst of all of these things too. But we know if we're the Lord's elect, hey, he's going to be making a way for us in these times, man. We're not going to be worried about what we're going to eat or what we're going to, drink and all of those different types of things. That's going to be the things that the 2/3 of our people are worried about in these heathens, man. They're going to be bugging out, man. The Lord's elect, we're going to be stable in these times. Abaratazah, we're that number, right? But I'm actually grab this precept as well, because like I said, these things are for the wicked, man. You see, that's who Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is bringing all of these things upon, man. The 2/3 of our people and these heathens, man. You see, they're going to have to be the ones dealing with these things, right? Because ultimately these things are created for the wicked, right? This is Sirach chapter 40. And I'm going to start at verse 8, right? And it says, such things happen unto all flesh, both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. Verse 9, death and bloodshed, strife and sword, right? Calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge, right? Because all of these things are coming. The sword, which that goes into destruction, death, chaos, right? Verse 10, these things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. So like I said, for us hopeful like brothers and sisters, long as we continue to do what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua wants us to do to the best of our abilities, and we continue to stay close to the Lord, he continues to keep his spirit upon us, then, hey, we have nothing to worry about, man. You see, Lord's willing, we be at that number, you see, because ultimately that's what it all goes back to, us being of the Lord's elect, you see, and we pray and hope that we're at that number, because like I said, they're going to be the only ones in this time who the Lord is ultimately going to, spare, you see, who he's going to have marked with that thawab, man, that it tells you about in Ezekiel 9, to be exempt from all of these judgments and evils that he's about to bring, man, right? And I'm actually go to that through the spirit, right? Because this is what we pray and hope to have upon us, right, in these times, man, because we see what's ultimately about to come, what's about to happen, right? We see what everything is building up to, right? It's building up to these times that the men of the Lord have been talking about, starting off with the elder apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and the men on down that teach the same doctrine. We've been warning of these things for years, that these things are going to happen, man. You see, and we are fastly approaching those times. But this is Ezekiel chapter 9. I'm going to start at verse 3. It says, and the glory of the power of Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side, right? Verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, right? This is going to be in America. Through the midst of Jerusalem, which is a people before as a place. It's talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which makes up the biblical Hebrew Israelites. It says it's set a mark, right? That's different than a mark in Revelation 13 and 16. This is talking about in the Hebrew word, tawah, which means to be exempt from everything that's coming. This is what we want to have upon us, Lord's willing. It says, upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And who are those that are sighing and crying in this place, Babylon? That's the Lord's elect, man. Right? Because the 2/3 of our people, they're not crying about all of the wickedness that's happening and going on here in America. They love this place right along with these heathens. You see, these people can't get enough of Babylon, man. So that's why when this place begins to get punished, you see, and all of the hell and all of the judgments that the Lord has set for this place comes upon it, these people going to suffer, man. You see, and they deserve it. You see, we don't feel bad for you people, man, at all. You see, verse 5, and to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Right? That means to delete, to put down, to put to death, man. That's what the Lord is about to do in these times. As I read in 2 Ezra 16, great death, man. That's what's about to come. A lot of people are about to be judged. You see, it says, and smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not going to have any mercy upon anyone, man, that's not of his elect. You see, in these times, man, right? This is verse 6. It says, slay utterly old and young, right? For the Lord is no respecter of persons, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a woman. It doesn't matter how good you look. It doesn't matter who you think you are in this world, how much money you have. If you're not of the Lord's remnant in these times that are coming, you're not going to make it. You see, this is how bad it's about to get out here, man. And this is why we ultimately tell you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, both men and women, to repent and to seek the Lord. Because if you're not, then you're going to die in the time that's approaching, man. You see, that just is what it is. It says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house. So like I said, this is the time and season we're in, man, where the Lord is about to start, dishing out judgments on a high scale, man, worldwide, but mainly in this place, Babylon, you see, because like I said, the Lord is going to send all of these things for judgments, man, right? This is 2 Ezra chapter 15, and I'm going to start at verse 49, right? Bear with me. And it says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, right? Poverty, right? You got all of these things happening now in America, but it's going to get worse. You got women out here that don't have men with them, that are crying and sighing on these social media apps, that don't know what to do, losing their mind, bugging out, right? Poverty. You got a lot of people that are homeless in this place, a lot of jobs being closed, a lot of layoffs. I mean, hey, it's getting bad in this country, man, and it's going to get worse, right? It says famine, sword, and pestilence to waste our houses with destruction and death. So like I said, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to send all of these different types of things upon this place, America, man. You see, to judge you wicked ass people, man, right? And like I said, we warned you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. We told you that these things are coming, man. You see, and ultimately to seek Yahweh Shem Yahushua, where you still have time. But our people don't want to seek the Lord. They want to continue to keep doing things that is, pleasing unto them, man, walking after their ungodly lusts, right? But a lot of you jakes are going to wish real soon that you would have sought after the Lord, man, because it's only going to get worse for this country, man, and the world, right? So, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's video. Lord's willing, I pray it be edifying. Like I said, just something quick through the spirit. But yeah, these things are approaching quickly, man. You see, and we are in these times and seasons. You see, so hey, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians out there, it'll behoove you to be seeking the Lord, man. Because like I said, the Lord is going to be your only protection in these dangerous times that are upon us, man. Right? So with that being said, I'm going to end the lesson giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops, a great millstone that rule well, teach well, while learn his truth, 100% according to the Bible. To the next time, I'm going to say shalom to the elect. Shalom.